merged as you're doing it, so there's no conflicts.
Okay.
And by the looks of it, I was reading through documentation now. When you start it, one person starts like a local server on their computer, and then the other people join,
I see.
which is always slightly problematic that you've got to have somebody be the server. I wonder how useful, or if it would be a good idea at some point when we've got funding in that, to get a computer dedicated to just being the server, and it's just running all the time, and then we just jump in and out of it as and when we're working.
Yeah, it might not be a terrible idea to us. We can all work on the same thing. That looks interesting to me. Yeah. We definitely have to.
I'm wondering as well if that means that it fixes merging issues for everything, like all the blueprint stuff as well, like the assets, as well as the levels, because that would be fucking amazing if it fixed all of those problems.
Very true. Sick.
Send this link over to Dad, actually. Let him have a look at it as well. Oh, he's offline. What's that up?
Okay, I'm looking at your flick thing is very responsive. I tell you what, just already, right? I can like get a sense of like it just, you know what I mean, and then that's not on the screen, and then when it's on the screen, it just automatically helps you just know that you're doing like an input. You know what I mean? Like it's so helpful. Hey, not gaming.
Sorry, I'm currently changing the way we do it at the moment. It will still be the same thing. It's just a different method.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make the trail effect, but you can't do it through a shader because you don't have like. There's no buffer. It's only that current draw.
Okay.
So we're doing it as, rather than having the animation happen in the shader, we're just rendering the image. So a circle, the ring circle as an image, and then the dot as an image, and we'll just translate it as a UI element instead of animate it in the shader. And then we could have like 10 of them trading behind each other, which currently is almost working. I got distracted by lunch, but
yeah, I'm so annoyed. I always start streaming right before I need to eat.
Have you done it again today?
Literally. I'm starving. I don't even
eat
know.
first. What's wrong with you?
I just forget. I'm just like, but now I'll just eat it. Like I'll stream for like an hour and a bit, then I'll eat it, and then come back and stream again. I always act as if like we have some set schedule we have to stream, or like if I can't, like I can stream for 30 minutes if I go off. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you mean?
Yeah. But once you're on, you kind of want to keep.
Once you're on, you just want to keep going. I use it as well because it distracts me because I'm on a bit of a cut, cutting down. So like when I start streaming, I'm like, if I start streaming when I'm hungry, because then I'm like, oh, any stream below 2 hours, I'm a bit like, oh, it's a bit lazy. So I'm like, okay.
It's like disciplines you.
Discipline me, yeah. Oh, let's see. I just want to get my rocks. All right, let's see. I made a change in tool. Let's see if that did anything. I can test it. I am a hungry buddy. Jesus. But then I have soup for lunch. How yum.
I mean, it's nice. It's not going to be filling, but it's nice.
It is not bad, to be fair. I'm just like, oh, I would love like just like a cheesy flatbread. Like craving a pizza.
I had a £1/2 cheese and bacon burger for lunch.
Oh, stop it, mate.
From a food van as well. From a burger van.
Oi, is this doing what I want it to do?
Hey, what's up, not gaming? It's crack a lack and G. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna carry on with the trail. Yeah. No. Fade in the UI.
It's just kind of doing what I wanted to do, but not really. To do a leave as his job. I think this is just right. Hold on, let's see. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, bloody bastard. Okay, no, maybe I just do best estimate. Oh, we'll see, eh? I don't like the fact that that thing does a little bit of a 360 yada yada thing. It's a bit sus, but. What are we doing today? We are getting more animation. So these are all the slower, like all the drop downs now you see all very slow. They'll all speed up, don't you, buddy? I love how like 2 meters in a game looks so small, but then in real life it's like well above head height. Well, not really, but it is above
Yeah,
head height. But here you feel like it's like, oh, I could just step onto that.
the whole scale thing is really,
So
really
annoying.
confusing. Oh, if you wanna get that marker off screen, by the way, it's just a component. It's a actor component in the player character. So just kill it. Just remove it. Sorry. The thumbstick marker. Flick it. Crackle.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I'm so glad we're doing all our stuff that way now. It's so much better, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just a million better way. Like, because now I look at the just even like the scoring stuff, like all the UI stuff is. If you don't want scoring, it's like, all right, just kill this, kill session marker, kill the ragdoll, kill the mission, and it's just kill the pause, kill the cheat, kill the flick. You mean just kill all these components and they won't have it. And that's what's cool as well is that now. Because I want to probably like next week or week after, I want to look at the security chase thing. So I want to look at adding in AI to start doing cool stuff, and it's just going to be a similar thing. It's like, okay, I want the AI to have this and that, and then I want the AI to have the movement, so add the motion matching. You mean just all pluggity plug. I'm just going to leave the thing. I don't actually mind it. It's not.
That's fair. Yeah, it's definitely way better.
Even without the trail, it's just it helps like.
Yeah, but
Like
I
holding
mean,
that.
we've got it functional now. Now I'm like just going to spend the day making it look good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I was also saying, like, obviously we need the trail and all that. But I'm saying, even that fact that it doesn't have it, just the fact that you see something to represent what your thumbstick is doing. And like, I can imagine now, like, if there was text above it, or well, text was where the flick towards the side of the where you flicked it to be. It was saying like if I do this, it's just like predicted cat pass, and then as I bring it round, the prediction changes to something else, and you're like, oh, I see. So then when you're also testing out moves, you can see the different points at which it's gonna. So I need to release at a certain point. So like I'm like, cat pass. So then if I do this and then let go of everything, as long as my last predicted move was a I guess with this way it's fault. It'd just be like, oh, what was your last predicted move when we were doing all the things? Just do that. To an extent, obviously. So you can overshoot or undershoot the input as well. Yeah. It drops down that high.
Hey, what's up, Keikon? No, I'm doing the joystick thing. David's doing the animation stuff. David doesn't deal with UI anymore. I don't know.
I do not.
He's already paid his dues. He doesn't have to do it anymore.
I've done my time.
He's done his time.
Gans must now serve his sentence.
Yeah, just wait till we got Vassal in. I have to spend like a month teaching him UMG, and then I'd never have to touch it again.
Is he joining that guy?
I don't actually know. I know I was chatting to Dado last night. We both like his work.
This is the UI guy.
Dado, sorry, yeah, the UI guy. But Dado was saying like, there's also the concern of we can't currently pay him. Just like, does he want to join and actually start working now for free, or is he going to be like half the team that's on standby for when the position is there? But he does good work.
Yeah.
That's really well.
Any like sleek and clean UI. It's just like
Mm.
design. I was used to, I never gave designers credit until you're like, shit, man. Nothing looks
Yeah,
good. What's this
it's
one?
hard work.
Very. Okay, hold on. I'm going back to my old level.
It's weird as well because like I quite enjoy doing uh like concept boarding for UI stuff. But it's a fucking nightmare actually implementing it.
Mm.
Hey, what's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Are you alright, mate?
No.
I wanted to. Oh, kill that.
What do you need to do? What time is it for you, Brandon?
9:51 a.m.
You're not that far from us.
No, and we just had, I don't think you guys do it, but we have like 2 time changes a year.
Yeah, we have that.
Hour forward, hour backwards.
Yeah, and we just went forwards. So I think we were 5 hours and now we're probably 4 hours apart, right?
I don't know when our clocks changed.
Let's do that too.
26th
Yeah, we do, yeah.
March.
Oh, okay.
Ours changed
So it's
this Sunday.
solstice.
Yeah.
The winter and summer solstice thing. I'm pretty sure that's what we. No, it's not.
Yeah,
the solstice.
ours-
Oh, saving.
Ours is spring and fall is when it happens. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
easy
how
way
I-
to remember it is spring forward, fall back.
backwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I remembered it as a kid.
Same,
But
yeah.
like we have a couple states that don't even do it. Like they voted against it because it doesn't really make sense anymore. So like
Interesting.
they're year round they're the same time. So like the rest of the country changes and they're still where
But
they're at.
doesn't that confuse like trading, like business trading and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I don't live in those states.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure people are used to it, but I feel like there's definitely people that live like on the border of those states and work the next state over that does change, and that probably sucks. But
Can you imagine
yeah.
like getting up, you're perfectly on time and everything. You've just got to cross the border, you get into work, and they're like, "Why are you an hour late? What's wrong with you?" Like, the fuck? That was it.
Yeah, it's I think like as a whole country, I think we're talking about just getting rid of it as a whole. So that would be nice.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna do it, you've got to do it countrywide. You can't do it for part of the country.
Yeah, it's hard to do anything countrywide in our country. It's
Well, fair.
very, very big and lots of different types of people.
It's getting darker later now, KCON, as you come into summer. At least in the Western Hemisphere. No, Northern?
Northern. Yeah.
Yeah, it's North-South Hemisphere, isn't it? Not West-East.
Yeah.
What type of music were you using for the game? I don't know.
I don't know. Not a music guy.
Generally, anything that fits an urban UK scene, I think. So, garage, rap, drum and bass type stuff, I think. I'm not sure.
I'd say more so like because I think because I spoke to Drew about this quite a lot, the music stuff, and I think obviously that's a much layer of production, like looking at like the kind of music,
I don't know.
like
Not that much later.
yeah, but it's like it's for us, it's like you said, we can add a music system, but like the songs you choose, it's like until you create worlds and environments to match it, it's like for us now, it's like spending time curating music is like just a waste of time for us. You mean like we don't even have footsteps? You mean like, well, maybe we do. Apparently, I'm hearing rumors, but I think it'd be like later on when you actually like, oh, you know, like now what kind of music do you want to have to fit the different themes, right? Because you also think we need to know what all the different modes are, all the different like levels, like where is like what is the sandboxes? Are they going to be? What are the menu settings? When do you need to play the music? All these kind of things. Like, do we have playlist system? Like, it's quite a big chunk that you need a lot of the base game to kind of be done to like actually properly do it. Because they kind of work off of these things as opposed to you make these things to match the music. It's like get the music that best complements the gameplay in a sense. But then also music is sick because like I don't know about you guys, but your favorite games, some of them you look back and like the soundtrack was awesome. Like I was saying,
Dude,
this
I
like
think about Madden like
yeah,
12 or not 12,
NBA,
sorry, like Madden like '06 like all the time because so many songs from that I like still listen to, you know.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's the
I think
old
there's another
generation.
aspect of the music too is you have to get like the legality of it cleared.
That's why it's so late that you do it
Yeah.
later because it's like to get like
Yeah.
because obviously you want some of your favorite songs, but you want like you don't just want like a bunch of random beats, and you could that will have definitely like I think Callum makes some music, Callum's friends do it, so they gave us we have some sounds from them, so you can definitely have them as like during the menus, but sometimes you want to be able to skip through the radio and be like, yo, what the fuck is Travis Scott? Or like, or just like, like a UK artist that someone would be like, yo, what the fuck? I listened to this on the other day. Or they hear it and then they go on Spotify and put it into their playlist. And you can people make a Spotify playlist called STORROR Parkour Pro that has all their
Some
songs
Pete
on
and Baz. There's some of that on there.
it. Yeah, so it's just, but I think it'd just be like, I guess just all the story guys, what do they listen to? And then what do we listen to? And what do the people that do parkour listen to? Like,
Yeah, I think that there's like a pretty good I guess like template out there if you just scroll through their videos. It's kind of
there's like a sound
that
right?
vibe, right? Like it's that like
It's like
Guns was
hip-hop
saying,
kind
kind
of
of
thing,
like yeah, like this
Garagey.
garage. I don't know the actual terms for the actual genres of your guys' music, but like that, like they play like a lot of what is it? It's like the rap, but there's a certain name for it. Like I mean Pete and Bass they do it, or like
Who's Pete and Baz?
Stormzy, like that
You
kind
talk
of
about
drilling.
you talk about drill.
Drilling, yeah,
Drill.
like yeah, like
drill. Yeah.
drill. Yeah, I mean like that's definitely like a
Yeah.
thing like I hear coming up, and there's also like cool kind of electronic music. And if I would say if like Callum or his friends like gave music already, that might be a good place to start because they're cool with it being
Yeah,
on
we
there,
have
and
that. Yeah, we have that.
it would be nice to have something going,
Oh,
to be like,
100%. Yeah.
hey guys, like, version point one was literally just like running around, and now this next drop or next couple drops is like we have sound in this shit and music.
The
Like,
funny thing is, we actually had music in the old project file.
We did literally.
When we switched over to the new engine, we didn't bring it over, and then we've just not put it back in yet.
And the thing is, I always found like the issue is like the music has to like go. So like we can't have. So now we have. It's almost like before we had no ambience or like noise from the character in the world, but we had music, and it was just kind of like it's almost now that you have the ambience of the noise, can we layer the music on top of that to make it like, oh, okay, like, and you turn it on and off kind of thing. But yeah, 100%. I always feel like the weather with that as well with because there's obviously I guess you'd have to just with parkour it's a lot of street music, right? Street, like what the people who are on the streets of UK like the people that not in offices and buildings or going to like nightclubs and that's just not parkour, right? You don't see how you dress is one thing, you know what I mean, the kind of because fashion, culture, all these kind of stuff play into it, right? Music is the same. So what kind of vibe does that give off? But I think it's also like the environment you're in. Like if we're doing it a very like street based thing, right, it's like you see like brutal, like concrete, like underground kind of vibe, then you almost want the music to match that. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to, I'm trying to think what kind of is at NBA, like when you're on the court like playing in like the modes, the music is a bit like yeah, it's rap and whatnot, but it's a bit more like yeah. And then you go to that blacktop. This is like 2K9 or something ages ago. I was super young, but I always remember the music would like represent where you kind of were, and it was a bit more like the hard rap kind of like proper old school kind of hip hop where the old heads would be like, ugh, this is a serious like that kind of thing, and it felt so like it made actually the world feel more alive because you almost felt like you were walking through. You know what I mean? You were walking around those, yeah, literally.
It's a good idea.
yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense, like, to have it curated for the world, especially if, like, let's say something, and I don't know what the main idea is, but if there's a map that is in, like, Paris, then you should probably use like what people in Paris are
Hmm.
listening to,
I
like
think
what
that would be
their
so
street
sick.
people are
Yeah.
going like. And I agree with that. Like that helps build the world and helps build the kind of like idea. I think the beauty of this demo level, and I don't know if will be like part of the main game or whatever, is it kind of doesn't exist. It's kind of its own thing, and I know it's modeled. It looks to me very like UK, but I could be wrong. Definitely doesn't look like here, but like I think that
No,
the
it's
cool
very
thing with that is
realistic.
we can kind of design the feel that we want. I think like personally my feel with this is it's very like more chill. Like it's like, hey, just get used to this game. Like the people that are
Mm.
playing, the backers, like more like, hey, just we want you to sit here and play for a while and just like enjoy it. You know, kind of more like I don't want to say like chill step vibes, but more of that kind of just like beats.
Yeah, no,
Like
100%. Lo-fi kind of
yeah,
like you can zone
yeah,
out, right? Because that's kind of the
and
like,
just
yeah, I
go.
agree.
You know,
Dead spot on.
yeah.
Don't said any better to be honest.
You see that? Because I didn't obviously because if it is like English vibes, it kind of just passes straight past me because I wouldn't notice it. Is Sam English? Because I know he's in
I
Australia.
think
Now
he's
he's
Australian,
Australian.
right? Yeah, it might, and that's why I said I might be wrong because I've also never been to England, so I don't know. I might be putting my own like like hey, it's not American, so it's England, it's British, you know. But it might be more Australian or something.
But I get like a bit
I
of
could see it. It's dialed to 11, but I could see it.
I get very like I don't know if it's level. I get quite like it gives me sort of like estatey vibes. Like I remember there's like I get such a there's a place in like West Brompton, like there's like as I go from my girlfriend's through, and it's like a bit of like a estate thing. It's got like a bit like a little greenery inside of it, and I swear to God, every time I walk through, I'm like, this is the exact same vibe. Like it's literally. I'm trying to let me see if I can Google Maps it. I'll show you what I mean because it's like.
Especially once there's textures and like brick,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying.
and
Like just the
like
materials make all the
graffiti on the
difference. Right?
wall or whatever. Like, yeah,
People like obviously we can like add NPCs and stuff to also be like, oh,
Technically, we
what
already
what
have
are the
NPCs
people?
in there.
Yeah, true. What do the people look like? Where is this bloody bust?
God, that's gonna be a whole thing.
yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not a characterized. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be doing audio.
Yeah.
Like after watching what you guys do, I'm just like, oh my god, like what
Nah,
is
what you
going
do is fun. I don't want to be a characterized. It's
on?
painful.
Oh, here we are. Clemently cool. How do I?
I'm so confused by why that bit's. I wonder if it's the same.
Yeah, I guess like I'm like running around right now. What gives me that kind of vibe is just how like uh maybe like the term is like industrial it looks. Like everything is like sharp corners, pretty boxy.
I mean, it probably helps because he's done it in that brutalist style, which there is a lot of like London architecture that was just brutal estates.
Yeah. Kind of that like 50s, 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if I share my screen,
Oh, I thought you was going to Google Maps the West.
oh, I have, yeah, yeah. I want to put them side by side to sort of like scan through whilst I also like this is what I always this is what I always just it's like this just like where it's just the patches of green almost don't look like they belong, but they're there. But it's like very, do you know what I mean? And then you go in, they're like there's a bit inside. I don't know if it'll let me go in. No, it won't. But yeah, there's like a bit inside here. I don't know if you can see through here where there's like green inside, but it's surrounded by brick buildings and like and it's all kind of like this bit is a bit crappy to see, but yeah, sort of like you see in here a little bit where you see then the kind of boxy bits and yada yada. And you have like the slanted roofs and it kind of connects, but then you have the green there. And I kind of always just get the vibe of a similar thing. And I can imagine people like doing like strides down here and you mean climbing on the roofs and just kind of, you know what I mean, shit like that. But then there's so much more parkour. It's like that place always had like a limited amount. So you say that, it's probably a lot of parkour I could do there, but has like to an extent a limited amount. Oh, I crashed my freaking. Great. Brandon, you've destroyed my PC, bro.
Change your load up default.
I have. I loaded the level afterwards. I wouldn't lie.
Wait, I can do that? I can change because it always starts me on that like climb up tester or whatever it's called.
I'm surprised you can get out of that. That level is the one that's dead at the moment. It keeps crashing David's engine. Oh, actually, and mine. I can't get into it.
Yeah, we need to change it out. It's someone's done bits to my thing.
Yeah, hang on, Brandon. I'll share my screen. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to do any cool stuff on here. Like, I don't know how to.
So if you go to edit and then editor preferences,
Okay.
and search, I think load, and then it's like down the bottom somewhere. Oh yeah, there's this one, load level at startup. So you could either set it to project default, which at the moment is climbing testing, or you could, I leave it on last opened, so it will remember the last level you had open when you closed the engine, and it will open that one.
Okay.
Which is what I like to use personally.
All right. Load last opened. Perfect. Thank you. That will be very nice.
So sad.
What is the point in having a context-based search that never gets the context right? Drives me nuts. Let's make that like really small. Yeah, there we go. It's too small, it's working.
Why are you not doing what I want you to do? You bloody.
Hey, what's up, Dustin? I've just seen the stream title.
What did I put here again?
Oh God, it's been slacking.
Oh yeah, he really is. Just slackers, they lot of me.
Yeah, I have the assets for running, walking, slowing down, and close, but I don't know how to link them like to the player.
Would you assets
So like,
in...
so when he actually steps, it plays the sound.
Oh, okay.
See, I understand like the most basic form where I like tie it to the animation, but there's obviously tons of animations. And Dada was saying that there's this other way.
Yeah,
Or
we do a step
Yeah.
binary, so we can actually we know whether or not you're on you're having a step.
No,
yeah,
there's
so I
another
don't know
way. There's
if
another
I
way you
can
can
link
do
it to
it.
that.
I think using meta sound, because you can do it on
Mm.
like collisions.
Yeah.
So rather than using like a step branch, you could do it on like any collision, and then it will check the actor that it's colliding against, and you can define set
Yeah,
sounds based on that
what
collision
I've seen
material.
that where you can, like, if you have, different like grass, concrete, bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen that.
I have a feeling that's
Silly.
through using meta sound.
That
If you
is meta sounds.
Yeah,
It
so if you just look up
is.
tutorials for that, you'll probably find it.
Okay. But
Uh,
even when I watched a tutorial on that, it was playing it still from just an animation. So the animation is what triggers. Like,
so it's
so
not
I
doing like
think,
an actual collision check.
well, it is doing a collision check, but it's like the tutorials I saw, the reason you still need the animation is because it needs to know, like, when you're walking, it needs to know to play the walking one instead of running sound, because they're different. They're
I see
different
that.
footstep sounds, and like slowing down is a different set of sounds, and even like if you want to go to the extreme, like sprinting would even be another one. Uh, so, but if you know that, what were you saying? What would you call it, David?
Well, basically, what I was gonna say is that what we can literally so with this tool that we, God knows how long we spent on, right? Like it's the cool thing about it is when you elaborate on a bit, like we can add changes to code, right? So then we just have to re-elaborate. Well, Guns just has to re-elaborate.
Wait.
But basically,
go through and do a load of elaborations anyway.
what we do is like in our so if I show my screen, actually, I can explain it to you in a bit more of a.
That's the
just
point,
like-
actually. If you want to add that in at some point this weekend, I need to elaborate all the volts again because I want to make the IK curves slightly softer.
Oh,
They're a
and you
bit-
can
some
extract
of them are a bit too sharp, so
Can you extract some drop downs and drop offs for me too as well? That'd be nice.
yeah. Write me a list.
Cool. Yeah, if I'll share my screen, show you what I mean, Brandon.
Yeah.
And basically, I'll just show you where we'd actually put it. So, if you see here, I'm playing around with now. So basically, if we go to this scenario here, right? So here we have like this custom pass after retargeting. So we take the motion capture from the Xsense skeleton and retarget to MetaHuman, right? And then we add all this stuff based on what you want to do. So if it's a jump, right, we say like do the anim montage, add a scale. This is all stuff done in the sequencer, right? So it's like add a notifier at this point here. So when I do the so for the climb ups, for example, I add a motion warping notifier that's going to do yada yada yada, and in here, if you see, it just like says, okay, in the warp montage, how long should it be, and then we set the modifier here, yada yada. Right. All we'd have to do for yours is basically in that same thing at step binaries, like we assess like when this value is 1 or something or 2. Oh, we don't even need to do that.
You just pull it from the phase, don't you?
I do. That's what I was about to say. We don't even need to do any of that. Here we go. What we'll do is have a sound manager, right? And the sound manager is just a singleton, so it only does one thing, right? And there's only one sound man. This manages all the sound thing. And then the sound manager can have this footstep thing, right? And what that basically does is that it checks a couple different things. It checks like what's the surface you're currently on, and it checks the animation currently being played. What's the step binary? So anytime the step binary is 1, right, which means you've made contact with the ground, we just play a sound. Like then you can have whatever complex logic you want, Brendan, in that thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can be like, if you are turning, play this sound. You just can look at like the velocity and all this stuff, right? So as opposed to being like in the animation, play at this point now, we just say, okay, well, in the code, play it at this point now, and then you can even do extra logic to be like, play this sound or this one, depending on how fast I'm moving,
velocity.
depending on
Okay.
yeah. depending on where I am, you could do a trace down and get like the trace result object type. Like, am I on a concrete surface? Am I on snow? Am I on grass? Like, you can do all of that stuff, and it's just handled by that one manager. And instead of you having to drag in stuff, right? You can have infinite animations as long as you have that step binary, which they all have already, right?
Cool.
It's like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do. If you even say you want to do something, then we could be like for volts and stuff, right? Exact same thing, but we just use it at the contact points. So if you want to make a noise when your hand hits the wall, we already have curves that show like the velocity of the like hands, and then we already have now, because we use it for the IK, where it's like hand contact point like time. So we know the time in the animation that it does that. So all we do is like bind like these like events to happen, so that when this time is 1 or when it's whatever, we just do play contact sound, and it's all managed by that thing that you'll just control like all the logic for it. So you can be as complicated as you want, or as
And so will that player essentially, that will be in Unreal, or will it be something that I'm kind of having to code for?
That sound manager that'll be in C++. But all the assets that it basically links to will be most likely Unreal. So it'd be exactly how
I can still set up sound cues in Unreal.
Yeah.
Just tell it to play those sound cues.
Exactly this. So it'll be
or
exactly
meta
like
sounds,
this.
whatever it is. Cool.
If I show you this here, because this is perfect again, because then it's like a component thing. So if you see here how we do you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
How we do all the components. So if you see for like the session marker, I don't know if is that the best one to do? Oh, the scoring, for example, right? So in the scoring, I have this component, which basically is a scoring thing that is completely separate to everything I want to do, right? Now, sound is probably linked to the character, so maybe we don't need to make it so modular. But this, you can drag this into anything, and everything does the same. Guns is doing the same for this flick thing, right? But if you see here, this like, in this component, I have got this widget, right? And I pass this widget, I made in Unreal, to pass it through. So it'd be the exact same thing. You can make as complex as you want of a component here, that you can have like, you can pass it through like grass sound, concrete sound, and you just pass in, like, you get all your options, you select which one you want to do, and anytime you want to change stuff around, test different sounds, you don't have to touch code. You just go in here and be like, use this one, use that one, and then we can,
because that's what I understand
it,
is what you're doing right now. That's what that's the extent of my knowledge. I don't know
that's
anything
perfect.
about
That's
coding.
perfect.
Yeah.
What I'll do for you is I'll do it next week once, because
Cool.
I don't think it's too long. I'll make this component for you. If you just tell me the kind of basic thing you need, well, we do it together. We'll do it. We'll code it together.
Yeah, sweet.
So then you can even see because then what I want to also let you do is that if you want to change something in here, like say you want to add, okay, I want to add footsteps. I want to add the hand contact stuff. You can go into the code and sort of figure it out based on, how it's, watching me do it and like the way it's laid out. You're like, okay, I just got to add a new function. All right, copy that one, duplicate it, change the name around. In this function, do what that does, but just kind of change what curve point I'm using, and that way we don't have to, every time you want to make a change to sounds or you want to add something, you don't need me. You can just do it yourself.
Yeah, cool. And that definitely like makes it much easier than going through obviously like 40 hours of animations and
yeah, no, that's near enough impossible. Yeah.
Well, also by the time we get to our final library of animations, it's going to be such an impossible number to manage.
Yeah, and I mean you get like, I did like 30-ish sounds for each footsteps, walking and slowing down, and then imagine that for each character, each material. I mean, I still have to do all that. That's still happening, but yeah, it becomes a lot. I think I like just quickly did math, and it's going to be something like 1,400 just footstep sounds potentially. So
Yeah.
if you look here on my screen here, this is seemingly inversed a bit. So if you see here, when the foot makes contact, it's literally, what's funny about it is all in. When the foot makes contact, this value will be at 0. So here, here, when it hits this point now, the right foot is like this is during contact, and then
lifting.
the right foot comes away, and then it makes contact again, comes away, in contact again. So this is when the heel strikes the ground, basically. You can see just as my heel's about to strike, boom, like I'm going into that bit. And then same for the left foot. This didn't help that I layered them, but yeah, I mean it does kind of help because you can see how they chop and change, right? So
Yeah, it's the difference. That's cool
See what
because it
you're
also gives you each foot like dynamically as opposed to just looking at a animation and trying to match it, right? It's like mathematically doing it.
That's the key. So you
Yeah.
can never drag. That's the when you're creating the animation, but like when it comes to the math numbers that you're gonna need, right, to know exactly when it plays and for how long. We got to use the math. But yeah, that should be. We could do that next week.
Cool, that would be sweet because then we'll have, sounds of someone running and stopping and close, hopefully.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's the first, and I'm sure we'll probably end up like changing them and not, we got to test them and see how we like the sounds, but yeah, that'll be nice to just. I was like dreading having to go through all the animations.
No problemo. Oh. Oh, it's just a different
God, I didn't
name.
expect that to work.
Root position Y. Oh
I just made like a whole changes, like 4 or 5 functions one after the other, and then it still worked at the end of it. I'm so surprised. Hey, you right, Dada?
Slackers.
Oh, imagine.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
What did you break today, guys?
Please. What about? I'm making magic here.
Alright.
Alright.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, morning. Well, morning for me, not morning for you guys.
No, it's always morning.
It's
It's always morning.
It's always morning.
I guess it's also relative to when you wake up.
Or you never go to sleep. It's always morning.
Yeah, true.
It's relative to your state of mind. I think thinking it's always a new beginning. It's a very good approach.
How very
Alright.
poetic.
So David, I did the what did I do? Oh yeah, the root rotation thing. Does it work?
It does, I think. But basically, the calculating the scale is wrong because the curve name is different. So like, if you see my screen, did I stop sharing my screen? I haven't. If you see my screen here, I don't have root.y anymore. I just have root position y. So I just need to.
Why? Oh, one sec. So sorry, what you don't have?
So look, if you see in this animation here,
Yeah.
I've got root.tz, right? Root.t whatever. But
Okay.
the recent one where I re-elaborated it, it's called root position y, as opposed to root.ty or whatever it is. But that's fine.
Oh, no, one sec.
Is that a problem? Is that wrong?
One sec. Yeah. Well, give me a sec. I can give it back to you.
Look at me having to create workarounds. And I was meant to just add I kind of guessed, but I'm guessing I was meant to just add the case into here, the root extraction rotation type, right?
No. Yeah, actually, okay. I show you. Like, can you do it in yours? It's literally one line of code. Can you open the root motion utils and this line 7, 9, 1
Oh, I've become a hotkey.
around there. Okay, yeah. So basically, can you put can you remove the else and always add add f vector core root? There is a little bit of redundancy there, but that's okay. Yeah, let's do that.
And then so in the anim cut switching, in here this is where I was meant to add.
Oh yeah, so yes, that's correct. Yeah, sorry, that's correct.
Cool. No, yeah, okay. I was like, but yeah. Cool.
No. I thought that you meant like do it add in.
For the other one.
Like
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is not. That's cool. Awesome.
And yeah, whenever you are ready, we can attack we can attack that.
I am gonna go eat in like. Basically, I wanted to make sure this works before, because then like worst case scenario, it's just a case of elaborating animations and do yada yada. But yeah, I am gonna go eat in like 10 minutes.
Slackage.
I know. How dare you?
I mean, eating is so 80s, really.
So I thought that's so yesterday. But yeah, but when I'm back, let's do it. It's because I actually think is going to be the biggest fix ever.
So I think while you're eating, I think I can at least start adding those footstep sound for Brandon. I think I only need what do I need? I only need
We were talking about
I only need to create sound in.
I was gonna say
in the face detection, right?
Yeah, I was saying,
that's
all
all
into what David was talking about, or because they just worked this out a minute ago.
We were literally like 30 seconds ago. We were just talking about. We were saying exactly what you were saying. So we're saying like solution could be if we created similar to how with it, like, so we could create like a sound manager or sound component, right? Similar to how
we have already the sound manager.
Yeah,
yeah.
So with that same thing, literally, so exactly we we're just saying how like we just expose the sounds you want and then just play it on the. It's literally what you're gonna do. It's just what you're saying. You do it on the phase. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it on the. Or you could do the phase or the step binary, right? Because we have that. When the step binary is 0, when it transition.
Yeah, exactly.
So either one is just, you know what I mean.
I think on the phase is better because you may not have the phase binary. I mean, like if we change the interface of that curve, like we calculated the phase in another way, then maybe that curve could go away, but the phase as a value we will always have it. It's the product of however you want to calculate. So the phase we always have it, but the way you calculate it, like having the phase binary and stuff, could change. So yeah, okay, let's do the. I think I can actually do it while you are eating. I think I just do play sound, really.
That's also me. That's what I'm saying. It's like I was saying to Brandon, I'll do it within next week, but please do it. Don't need to.
Yeah, I think that would be actually quite massive, to be honest. And not just that, right? If that is a meta sound, right? Okay, two things, right? If that is a meta sound, then you can programmatically like parameterize the inputs of the meta sound. Say, okay, it's going at 10 miles an hour, 2 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, like whatever speed is going. What is the angle? Like we parameterize all those inputs, and the meta sound will basically give us what is the best sound for those parameters. I think it's the main thing. And with that, the coolest thing about that we can brag about that with Epic. Say, look, we use meta human, meta sound. Meta BS.
Use meta
Yeah.
fucking everything.
Meta. Meta cell, meta this, meta you, meta me. Meta us, meta we. I don't know.
Start
why,
rapping it
dude.
like a Dr. Seuss book.
What was that freaking what is it? It's oh my god, what is it? It's it's like
I don't know which one it was. I saw another one. It come up on Instagram like the day after you was playing that.
it's so good. It's like
That's
the
so
cat
good.
was black with a red. It's like, oh, what is it? 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 Dr.
The cat is on
Seuss
the table.
can rap. Oh. Oh my god. That's oh, I love it.
Anyway, let me. I'm gonna wait for Brandon to be back, and then I'll do it.
I just wanna get my answer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's so good. Oh my god, that's gonna change everything. Oh nah, Dada, that's so good. It works, by the way, Dada.
It works.
Yeah.
Knew
but
it.
because of me, obviously, not because of any of the code you wrote. Quite the opposite. There was a bunch of fixes I had to.
Despite the code.
Oh, nice.
He was like, I don't want to go down. I want to go back up. I was like,
I mean, shouldn't really we do it for every animation?
if that's what I'm saying. Yes,
Yeah.
because
I mean, we
I'm
should,
thinking.
right?
Because
Yeah.
this opens up a whole bunch of things, right? Because you got to think about now, all the steps and everything where direction is preserved after. And now it's actually going to be, every animation should have that. So, if for example I'm doing this sideways, what's sick here is that if I walk up to an edge, right, my character turns sideways and hops off and then runs this way. We can have that. We can now. This basically is super important because now angle of entry, right? We don't need to warp rotation. We now just match the angle of entry as well. So if I'm running at a wall from 45 degrees, right, picking that one that is also doing one similar, right, and then it's like it's actually gonna climb onto it how it should. So you don't get any of the weird like, oh, I'm trying to climb onto a wall, but it's going straight. So he's like, you feel like he's diving forward, but then you know what I mean? He just doesn't climb onto the wall.
Yeah.
Do you know that one? You know that dive cat where you go sideways and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it looks a bit funky. Whereas now, imagine we had one where he like puts his left hand and swings around and then faces forward. That house, like, that's sick. I mean, this is the blend time
so
is small, to be honest.
Would that mean that we would need more coverage, right? With the those selected animation, right? And that will and with that like different angle of entries, we would just no. I mean, we almost don't need to warp. Right?
I feel like we can really eliminate warping. I wouldn't even lie to you.
Does that mean we can get? Doesn't that mean we can get more animations out of every mocap session as well? Because there's animations that we've not picked because they land and like turn, or they land and walk away, and it was like, oh,
Yep.
fuck, it ruins the blender. We can't use that anymore.
Yep.
Sweet.
But also the fix that me and Dada want to make today as well is one where basically what is going on with the skeleton? Yeah, the fix you want to make today is one where is anyone seeing this?
What's happening?
His neck like elongates. I can't see it anymore. But yeah, so the fix is basically yeah, he's like doing like Mr. Stretchy Man. I don't even know. That's so good. Oh, that's so sick. What the? Did no one see that? It can't just.
I wasn't looking. I was writing. I was looking away and writing something down.
If you look at my screen, when I
Right.
look, he's giant. Look
Oh,
at him.
yeah,
Look at his
yeah,
neck.
yeah. I see.
He's Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Mr. Incredible.
Hey.
Mr.
It's all right.
Sick. I could do this all day. Crazy thing is, there's no hand-eye care actually right now. I haven't added it to
Really?
the anime blueprint. Yeah, I've got the anime blueprints wrong. I gotta make a change. I'm gonna check this in. Hold on. Wait, let me add the hand-eye care and then check it in. It's got me excited.
What the hell? Is there a problem with the retargeting?
Something, but it's just in general movement. It's just not even like, just when he moves, it happens.
Really?
Yeah. This is the exact issue why some of the jumps, the scaling is off, is because of exactly that. It's like there's almost two ways the metahuman skeleton. It's like a super enlarged one like that, and there's another one where it's like normal. What is going on there? Okay, very funky behavior.
How have I not noticed that before?
Yeah, I've only noticed it now. It's only happened now. It's not actually. It wasn't happening before.
You know what? I don't think it happens when you sprint.
There's
I
something
think
because
it's only when you walk slowly it happens.
it's also only after when you first elaborate on animation. So like so interesting here is that this animation is the reason why the values of certain climbs, you know, some climbs you're like the hand isn't at the top of the wall, it's like below it. That's why. It's because in the animation itself, it's the one with the super long arms and super long neck. So it thinks the hand is actually higher up. But then when it plays in runtime, after you save the animation, like it plays in runtime and it looks normal. Like it doesn't look super stretched out. It looks absolutely normal. But the problem is the curve data is calculated on the super stretched out stuff. So then it's like it then thinks it's higher, so it's not. And it's like, what's going on there? Like, it's all a bunch of faff there. What is?
I'm having so much fun with this now that you've shown me it. Just Josh puffing his chest out.
going on with this?
Oh, is that the idol?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
No, it's when you start walking slowly, but you have to like be really gentle on the thumbstick. So when you stop, be gentle. It puffs up, and then you'll do a few steps before shrinking back down again.
Okay, can you can you guys funny
It's
Can-
only when you go slow though.
I think that is clearly your fault. Can you bring up the the Morphing debug thingy? Can you do the? Can you get console A anim node?
Oh yeah. You wanted to think? Oh yeah, I know this one. I've done this.
Yeah.
They
anim.
Most synth, the
Oh,
MM
David,
trajectory
okay.
debug.
He's already on it. There you go.
No, the one that shows the name of the animation play is what's that? Anim debug, yeah, the one. Yeah. Okay, go. Have a look at what is the animation where it does that.
Let me restart. Drew.
No, you got to be more gentle with the thumbstick. There you go.
Drew walk
Drew,
back
walk
and
back
forth. That's the one.
It's so fun.
Oh, puff out.
Almost,
He's
tempted
he's
to
been
leave it
hitting.
in, to be honest.
He's been hitting the gym, man. Look at him. Size the guy. Monster.
Not sure. Some steroids involved in that for sure.
Definitely TRT. There's some HGH and TRT in there.
Yeah, actually. What is the animation? Back and forth.
Drew walk back
Drew
and
walk
forth.
back and forth.
What is going? Kill that. It's so wrong in so many ways. Something wrong there. Oh, it's it's because when you turn around, your right hand goes to your left hand, and your left hand goes to your right hand. I just thought of that. Somewhat, yeah. Hand-eye is going crazy because I guess when you're climbing down, your right hand, the surface you're on, you go like that. So where straight looking at going in, your right hand position is actually going to be your left hand position, and your left hand position actually going to be your right hand position. Okay, I got to figure that out. For now, no idea. All right, cool. I'm gonna check this in. Go eat some food. Does work though, Dada.
It's already there.
It does work though. It works how it should.
Oh, nice.
Do any of you want to take over? Because we actually got 10 viewers right now, so may as well keep it going.
Keep going.
Do you want to take it, Dad? Because I'm at work at the moment. So at any given moment, I might have to do it. There's a decent chance I'll be here, but I have to be able to walk away.
Yeah, sure. Where's this called?
Oh, did you see the multi-user thing I sent in Dado?
The what?
I was looking at documentation for the Unreal plugin, the multi-user editing, so that multiple people can work on the same level simultaneously.
Oh. Yeah, but
It looks
it
interesting.
was a new thing in 5.0 already, right?
Sure. I don't know. It's new to me.
No, I mean, it was that is they did an improvement in 5.2 or
But I don't know. I haven't seen anything about improvements. It's just I was talking to Brandon last night because where we're both working on the level now, we need to communicate so we don't clash. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if there's a thing where we can work at the same time. Looked it up, found it straight away. Before that, I didn't know it existed.
okay, yeah. No, let's have a look at that. I saw that already, right? And so from what I understood is now every entity in the level is its own file. Like like you have an actor that you place in the level, and that is its own entity. Which now that I think about it,
I wonder if we're looking at different things.
Yeah, we should never have collision then.
The one I'm looking at is like one person will set up a server on their PC, and then other people join. So you're all working in the same session.
Oh really? No, okay. Let me have a look at that.
I'll put the document. I'll put the link to the documentation in our
in the chat.
Yeah, in our little chat.
Which one is the chat? Me and David.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. Okay.
Yeah, which is like always slightly annoying that you've got to have a host. But then if in the future when we've got funding, if we just got a dedicated server that was just running all the time, and then we'd just join it to do work, then it might be cool.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't see this one. I saw basically that they changed the way. I think they changed the way they craft the. I think it was for the multi-grid landscape tool, in which for the Matrix City, they got this level which was like streaming as you go along, right? We don't have that, but I think for that one they split it into, if you work on each instance, it's your own thing, and you don't need to merge with other one. But this one, and I didn't say it. I think we should try to be honest. We still got the Amazon credit anyway if we need any servers up, so we may just use it.
See, what I'm really curious at that I want to look into for this as well is because obviously it means like we don't have merging conflicts anymore with the level, which is awesome. But I wonder if it helps avoid merging conflicts for just like blueprints and stuff if you're working on the assets in the same session.
No, because
I think that's asking a bit much. It would just be cool if it did.
Yeah. I think you should be able to merge blueprints, but I don't think this is the.
This isn't the one that's going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. My guess is this is gonna be a complete mess, but I think we should try.
Yeah, probably.
Knowing them, it will be.
Oh no. Okay, no, yeah, we can do a VPN. Sorry, I saw it said it had to be on LAN, and I was like, oh shit, but we can do it over VPN as well. Interesting. Are we looking into multiplayer at the moment? No, not currently, Chad. What we're looking at the moment is for multiple people to work on a level at the same time. It's not actually what we're working on today. It's just we were talking about it.
Okay, let me get the infrastructure for Brandon, and
Yes.
we can play the sounds.
What was I doing? Oh yeah, I want to split this further. So if they are not equal, then I want to update tolerance on not this, on tolerance of the image size.
Twenty check-in and dev. Bloody hell. That is a lot of stuff.
Okay. No, no plus.
You left the blueprint in the player character.
Sorry?
You left the blueprint in the player character. That is gonna
yeah,
cost you 10%
check.
of your salary. Which is, it's still cheap
Good
for
luck.
you.
I'm not getting paid. I'll take 10%. I'm fine with it.
Okay, then 20, okay? Right?
All right.
Right? Yeah, let's create that. Let's create that sound component. Yeah, that's the everything is a component. New wave of
It's a good way of working.
yeah. I love like modular stuff. Not art wise, but coding wise, yes. Yeah, we got a sound manager, to be honest. We may just the sound manager. CBH. What is a sound manager though? Absolutely nothing. It's perfect. Oh, yeah. Let's look in sound manager. Brandon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, nice. What is the can you show me the footstep sound cue?
Yeah, so if you go down into live, and then it should say sounds.
I'm sharing my screen here.
Yes,
Yeah, am I?
I'm
Okay.
watching.
Uh,
SFX, player,
yeah.
and then there's the different ones, and
Oh,
then
close.
each different. Sorry, I'm highly like we got taught to be highly uh, organized. So then either any one of those, if you want running, it should be labeled as running. Those are all concrete footsteps. And then there'll be a
Nice.
sound cue in each one to play each individual.
Is the sound cue a meta-human sound cue?
That's just a sound cue. If I need to make it in meta sounds, I can.
Yes, I think. Okay, let's plan this thing. So, so I think what we can do is, oh, so if I play this key, is it like randomized and it like does
Yeah,
play?
it'll just give you a one shot, and then you can just keep clicking space over and over, and then it will just play different ones. And then once it's set up, I can go back in and adjust them, put on reverb or whatever we need, you know?
Nice, excellent. So I think what we can do is, let's go back here. So footsteps, right? I think if we can create here a meta sound, we just call it footstep meta. And so what we're doing there is, I don't know exactly how the meta sound work, but so these three, running, slow down, and walking on concrete, we will basically, these three things will be a parameter of the meta sound, right? We say, okay, I want to play a running sound on concrete, and I add, X velocity, right? Speed. And I think that like as a very simple first meta sound is gonna be way enough for what we need. So we just have one interface, like in the phase function when it calculates which is the foot that is touching the ground. We have all that data already available in the game. So whenever that particular time in the phase is triggered, I can just say, okay, play the meta sound with this velocity, and yeah, for now everything is concrete, fine. But then we will play on whatever surface at this speed, and whatever other parameters that you need. We just pass it through the code. So the code will have all the interface and the parameters you want to feed into the meta sound, and then the meta sound will basically orchestrate all the parameters and spit out the sound that we need.
Cool. Yeah, I've watched some videos on like dynamic footsteps with meta sounds and how it can choose between surface types. So that one, no big deal. That's all under one meta sound. I guess what I need to figure out then is how to trigger different ones based on velocity, but I'll start learning that.
Yeah, I think that is should be really the same logic. Instead of like filtering out on the type of surface, we will just, I don't know, like maybe that is even is that a modulation of the sound, or that is silly? Like if you play fast, like, okay, let's say that we go walking and then we go running sound cues, right? I mean, in terms of like sound waves, right? So we go a walking one and a running one. If we have a mix of the walking and running at 50% modulation, it would just sound silly, right? We cannot do that, right?
I've never tried it, but I'm assuming it won't sound right because
Yeah.
I think the timing of them is different. Walking steps are slower, they hit slower.
Yeah.
It's more heel toe, where running is a bit more, you're kind of landing, it's more of a pop, like a single. So it might sound a little weird. I can always try it and see, but
Okay.
I think
No, no.
generally, yeah, it will be just the singular sound.
Yeah. No, I think that is that won't work. I'm pretty sure that won't work because yeah, that we're mixing upon and pairs. That is just like it will just make it audible sound. So, but never mind that. I think then the strategy is we have a major filter, which is what is your velocity, right? And we say, oh, okay, you're running, and then we say you're running if your velocity is between I don't know, like 300 centimeters a second and 600 centimeters a second. I'm using that unit because that is the units that a real engine is using. So yeah, if you work on that on that scale, then we can speak the same language. Even though it always sounds weird, like how fast is 300 centimeters a second? But basically, a normal running is about 400. Like if you're running like not like Usain Bolt, it's about 400, and the sprinting is about 800, and a Usain Bolt sprint is about probably 1200. Like it's fun. And a slow walking is about 100 to 100. So those are like that is sort of like the scale that we have, and so if we say okay, I'm gonna go at my velocity is 550 right now. Then we say, okay, that stays within the brackets of the running. So, but within the bracket of the running, can we modulate the sound in a way that a 550 running free step is slightly, ever so slightly different than a 500?
I could also just just naturally the footsteps I have are there's some that are a little quieter and some that have a little more impact. I can split those and just say anything above this rate, play these ones. Anything
Yeah, yeah.
below this, play these ones, and it will just have that natural kind of feel.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that if we have that modularization um, that applies on a very small range, that doesn't affect the sound in a way that it makes it like distorted in a way that it just doesn't sound right. But if we can modularize in a way that is by modularize I mean I don't know if that is the correct term, but I mean like playing the sound at a slightly different pitch or a slightly different volume, like just
Yeah,
changing.
that's right. That's modularize it. Yeah, and you can do it very small. You could do it by like point 0.001 percent if you want. You could, so yeah, we could definitely get it to where it's not a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's that like small difference, right? But at least at least your eye don't get fooled into a pattern. Sorry, your ear doesn't get fooled into a pattern. I think that is all we need. But like it works remarkably well now with the seagulls. I was just walking by the coast in the game, and it was very well. We don't even need that, I think, but I think like adding that, it would just be basically production ready. I don't see really how we could improve further upon that.
Yeah, that's all just like attenuation, which is easy for the ambient sounds. And yeah, for the footsteps, it would be really easy to have that modulation just small, just so we know. I mean, I'll probably do them anyways, just because I have about 30 sounds for each of the for running, slowing down, and walking. So there's already a wide array, but if we do a slight modulation, now that sounds like 60 sounds or whatever, 100 sounds. So
Yeah,
you won't really
exactly.
hear, yeah, you won't really hear it ever.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put that the skeleton of the logic in code. So basically, you don't have to do anything at all. You just have like if you can create that meta sound, just one meta sound for the footstep.
Okay.
Then just like don't worry about how do you call it like I'm gonna take care 100% on that. And the great thing about that is that you don't ever have to worry about, you know, like, oh, I need to put this sound into every footstep of every animation, right? We just do everything on the fly. It's gonna save so much time. So it just and that is a great thing because you can then concentrate only on actually having the best sounds without having but you know I need to now edit 3 hours of animation.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, so I am about to run to the gym here in about 10 minutes. When I get back, I will create that meta sound and I'll go ahead and create it to kind of prep us for when we start having different uh textures for the ground. So when we start having
Yeah,
dirt, grass, whatever, I'll just get it prepped and kind of set up for that as well.
nice. That was nice. And we can actually fake it in a way, like you know, like these areas here, for example. We got this is supposed to be a flower flower pot, like, you know, this big grass in here, right? I mean, uh, yeah, that was the concept, right? These are just big flower pots, and you know, we can just make this thing green, and then if you go like, oh, it just land on the grass, it's just gonna give like so much depth already, like by just changing that material there, it's just gonna give like yeah,
Yeah, I
totally
agree.
changing the feeling of that.
Yeah, I mean, just like the sound in general, just now just having ambient sound, it feels like a completely different place. And then once there's footsteps and, you know, some clothing sounds and whatnot, it'll sound like a completely different place. And yeah,
Oh,
so it would be pretty cool, yeah.
we got the closing sound as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
I
some.
didn't try that as
I
well.
have about 30 or maybe a little less. It might be more like 15 tops and bottom sounds. It should just yeah, everything is in that FX file and there's the queue.
Nice.
It plays both of them together. So you can just go in there and click, you know, you got to open the queue for it. Yeah, and then you can just click play and it will play a quick little
Yeah.
few. And
Okay,
then
yeah,
yeah.
he plays two of them.
Yeah,
I
so
see
it's
that.
randomizing between both, so you're getting constant different tops and constant different bottoms so that they never, you know, it's not doing any pattern.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, nice, nice. And what is the timing of this um uh of
They
this?
all they
Yeah.
all just have a 2 millisecond lead, like a head time. And then it just kind of depends on the take. Some of them are a little longer, but I think all of them are under like half a second. So it does it looks pretty natural with I was just recording myself kind of going through the motion of a run, like a, you know, having one leg forward and swinging the other leg through so that my pants would make the noise. And then with the other one, like the top, I just had the cloth in my hands and acted like I was kind of doing like a movement of my arms to kind of get that pacing right. But if anything's off, we can go in and fix it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But how uh like do I need to play constantly every half a second, or do you have a, like you said, okay, you play this only certain events?
Yeah, so it would basically uh be the same, I guess, as the footsteps. I don't know if you have anything that triggers like when the body touches itself, like if when the arm touches the
Mm,
body, if that comes up,
okay.
or like the legs touch each other, if that gives you data. But if that gives you data, then we just do the same exact thing we're doing on the footsteps. So when the
Okay, okay,
legs
okay.
touch, then we just play the bottoms. When the arms touch, we just play the tops, and I would separate this into two different ones.
Go ahead.
But if not, we can probably just play this when the footstep plays, and you won't really notice.
Yeah,
But
you
we
won't
we can
notice. Yeah,
see.
because
Yeah,
you're gonna move the whole body when you when you
exactly.
move your legs, pretty much, right? I mean, unless you're a robot, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I think we can. I mean, I'm gonna experiment with that a little bit, but then like this again, this could be interfaced into a meta sound as well. So we just keep like everything with the same interface, and but just don't worry for now. Now the footsteps are the most important one
Yeah.
to get the meta sound. So I think like my idea for the close is. Uh, I'm just okay. I would just do the inverse of the phase. So and with a little bit of randomicity because otherwise it's too like the cadence is a bit too like repeated. But let's say the phase of the work is well the phase is the number between 0 and 2 pi, and in which 0 is the right foot down. Pi is pi. I mean, like 3.14 of the circle. So pi is the right foot down, and 2 pi 628 is going back again to the left foot. Sorry, where did I start? The right foot down. Yeah, right foot down is 0. Left foot down is pi. Right foot down is 628 2 pi, but he also wraps to 0. So like you got the circle thing, right? So what I can do is when it's half pi and 3/4 of pi, I can just in that range I can play any of this. So it would be like quite varied enough in the timing that you won't ever repeat, but it will
Yeah.
be offset with the footsteps. So there is a separation, or maybe actually, now that I think about that, I can just play randomly between any phase, because maybe sometimes you want to hear the sound when the foot is on the ground, because there is that overlapping thing that feels a lot more natural. Okay, yeah. So a randomize here is a randomized between a randomized timing between half phase, basically. When it does a footstep each way, left to right, any time between start and end of that movement, it will just play this any of the sounds. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
like
That would work perfect.
the only thing that we'll add is I will, like, the timing is random, but I will leave at least, let's say, we can change all these numbers, but let's say 0.3 seconds gap between one sound and the other. Otherwise, maybe yeah, the random will always play like two sounds too close together, and yeah, it just sounds like too weird. So it's a random with a minimum gap, and
Yeah.
I think it's just
Yeah, and as long as it's just one per in between step, one top, one bottom, then I think it will sound fine.
yeah, I think so, because I think like it's gonna be so hard to decipher like that is the wrong sound, because when we put everything together, there will be ambient sound, there will be music, there will be the
yeah.
footstep, there will be all the other sounds that we haven't put in yet. So it's not to say, it looks a bit weird now. It's impossible to like decode and look, there is that single sound that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think like exactly what you're saying. The more and more we layer on, the less people are gonna really notice. And honestly, in games, if you really like listen, footsteps and closed sounds are pretty quiet in the game. They're not like the loudest thing you hear because it's you're not just like totally listening to your footsteps and clothes move all day. You're hearing everything around you. So it's trying to get that for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I'm so happy that we got this thing going. It just feels, yeah, it just feels so. I don't know. It just feels like almost a proper production of the game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the sound does a lot, right? Like it yeah, it makes it feel real, I guess, in a way. Makes it feel more like you're saying, a bit more proper.
Yeah, totally. And you know, I told you already, I'm a big fan of and like sound in games, and all the games that I've done, like basically all the games that I've done, they won awards just because of the sounds, not because of the graphics or the programming. It was always because of the sound that we won the award. So I think, yeah, I just want to keep that. If you want a BAFTA for sound, you know,
Oh
you
my
can
gosh, I would
get
retire.
on the stage at the BAFTA and or what's the American one for the video game awards? Is that name? Like I think another one over the US.
I don't know. I honestly, I know. Is it a Grammy?
Yeah,
That's for me. That's music.
Yeah, the
That's for
music.
music, but I don't know if that would be for like sound design in games.
You may be. You may be.
It might
Because
be.
the BAFTA is like basically the Oscars, but UK. So anyway.
I mean, here I'll look it up right now because a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah,
from
yeah.
my school have won awards like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So, and I really think that, like, if we push for it, it's like because that is so like people don't put much effort to say, oh yeah, let's have this sound library, blah blah. We play this sound, whatever. Like it's something that really very few companies cares about, especially very few indie. So for sure we're gonna win best audio indie. I mean that is my target.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So I guess there's actually just a video game awards.
Yeah,
in
the video
US.
game awards. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a rubbish game because yeah, it's so generic. That,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, Addies, MTV Music Awards, and Video Game Awards. Those are all
Video game awards.
awards that people from my school have won.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the video game awards will definitely need to aim for that. Especially
I'm
for
actually
the
already an award-winning audio person from the school had this thing. I don't know if you know what they are, game jams, where you just have like
for sure, yeah.
yeah. So I won an award for audio at a game jam, which is cool.
Excellent. You already technically I won 2 BAFTAs, but of course I didn't do. Well, I mean, I was doing programming, but yeah, the game that I made won 2 BAFTAs, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, claiming, yeah, it's claiming them. And by the way, David, when we're gonna have the chat with Ole in basically now, ask him. Okay, yeah, like let's ask him. How was like because me and Ollie went to the BAFTA ceremony, and ask him if you remember anything of that night because it was the most hilarious night ever. Like I sent you pictures of Ollie at the BAFTA. It was yeah, we need to do that now. Yeah.